to another day of adventures with Wes and Jeff, and we are at Canyonlands National Park in the state of Utah. And this is a rugged, really cool area. It's got deep canyons. The Colorado River runs through it, as well as the Green River and a couple other tributaries that combine into those. And it's just cut huge canyons out into this landscape. So stick with us today. We will take you on all of the overlooks that, such as this one, that shows you into the canyon, and all of the different interesting things about this park.
Canyonlands National Park is located in the southeastern part of the state of Utah, 30 miles west of the town of Moab, 240 miles southeast of the Salt Lake City area, and 120 miles southwest of Grand Junction, Colorado. Canyonlands is a vast, rugged landscape of colorful canyons, mesas, buttes, and spires, carved by the Colorado and the Green Rivers. The park is divided into 4 distinct districts: Island in the Sky, the Needles, the Maze, and the rivers themselves. It's a high desert park known for its stark beauty, significant geological formations like sandstone fins and arches, and challenging backcountry access. The park was established as a national park on September 12, 1964 by President Lyndon B. Johnson. The park is 337,598 acres in size, which is over 527 square miles, and it sees over 850,000 annual visitors. Our visit to Canyonlands concentrated on the most popular visited district in the park, which is called Island in the Sky. Our first stop was the visitor center, where we planned out our day by speaking to the park rangers and touring the visitor center informative displays. We learned that the sedimentary rock layers here formed over 300 million years ago, and this huge, impressive canyon was carved out by the powerful forces of water erosion by the Colorado and Green Rivers within just the last 5 million years. Water erosion occurred in many ways that shaped the canyon. Rain and snow melt seeped into the rocks, freezed and thawed. Water expanded and contracted, breaking apart and loosening the rocks. Flash floods picked up silt and sand and small rocks, and waterfalls poured down from the canyon walls and ledges, letting and cutting the canyon edges, making it wider. The canyon deepened, and the rushing waters carried the rocky debris away. Desert life is difficult, but plants and animals adapt and thrive in this harsh environment. These lands were inhabited by the ancestral Puebloans and the Fremont people, forebears of the Ute, Paiute, and Navajo Native Americans for centuries, leaving behind petroglyphs on the canyon walls. This is Shafer Road, and it takes you back into this area, and it has steep wall canyons, kind of a dirt road, but it's really a grand view of the canyons. You see the road continues on down there. We're not going to do that. We're just going to stay on the canyon rim today. Shafer Canyon Road is a very challenging, steep, narrow, switchback 19-mile backcountry road requiring a 4-wheel drive, high-clearance vehicle and a driver with courage and nerves of steel. Be sure to check the road conditions before attempting this road. And if you have a fear of heights and you're the driver, I wouldn't recommend it. Or if you have passengers with you with a fear of heights, I recommend having them sit in the back middle seat of the vehicle while navigating these narrow canyon cliff roads.
This road is going so close to the edge of the cliff here. It makes me so nervous. I'd rather be sleeping with the bears in Alaska. Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Walking along here at Canyonlands, and this is the canyon here off of Shafer Road, and it drops off like 2,000 feet. It is huge, so makes Jeff a bit nervous when I get closer to the edge. He does not like heights, so it made him very nervous driving along this narrow road that brings you over here in our camper, because it was kind of swaying back and forth, and it's not very wide. But this is the canyon here, and this rock protrudes out. I'm sure people climb out on that darn rock, but it's just a sheer drop off the side. You can see there's a little bit of just a little when you drive along here, it's kind of treacherous, and it takes you around the canyon wall here. So really cool. I do have a fear of heights, but not as much as Jeff, so he really has to take a chill pill sometimes in order to. He's like, do not get close to the edge. And look at me, I'm close to the edge, of course, taking all these photos to share them with you. But really cool. There's some Jeeps back here, but we're about the biggest rig that is made the attempt to get back into this area of this national park. There's a road down there that you can go to, but we're not going to do that today with our rig. But it goes through the canyon. Just absolutely beautiful. We're at Canyonlands National Park, right across the street from the visitor center here at the Island of the Sky is this area that has rocks up right against the canyon ledge, and so it has an excellent overview that you can see over into the canyon and down along Shafer Road that we were on earlier. So the visitor center is around the corner there. You just cross the street and that's the Shafer Road there that's hugging the canyon wall, and it goes all the way down to the bottom. We talked to a guy that got a backcountry permit, and he had a camper almost the size of ours, and so he had lots of questions for us, thinking that we had been down in the canyon for a few days, but he had a 3-day permit, so he's going to go 100 miles, and he's going to go all the way along here to where he gets down to the bottom. He's going to go all the way down through the canyon. So this is just a beautiful overlook here. Definitely don't miss it. Park rangers, Sophia, the park ranger here, is super nice and super friendly. So maybe you can get her if you have any questions to ask about this particular park. But it's just absolutely beautiful. Jeff's really scared of heights, but I'm not so much scared of heights, but it makes me a little intimidated. But I just love the colors in the rocks, the darks, the lights. And this road was a challenge, but it was really fun for me. So it was making Jeff too nervous with the camper bouncing back and forth. Canyonlands, we are at the Shafer Canyon Viewpoint Trail, and it's just 0.1, so it's very, very short. You pull into the parking lot, it makes a big circle. You start at one end on the right hand side, and you walk and have a great view of the canyon. On the other side is this next spring trail, so it kind of goes down towards the canyon, towards the spring, this natural spring. And it's 5.8 miles. We won't be doing that one today, but this is what it looks like, the Net Spring Trail. Really pretty, lots of water seeping down in the crevices there. That's what it looks like. And it has a description of you're there and how you get down, but we're not too far in. This is kind of the first stop for the Canyonlands after visiting the visitor center and checking all of that out and what there is to see and do at this national park. So this is the trail that is 0.1 that leads along here and goes out to that little bluff there for an overlook into the canyon.
Where are you going? Oh, near the edge? Oh no.
Here on the Shafer Canyon Trail, it just leads right on out here. A lot of folks just park at the parking lot and take pictures from that vantage point. But it is kind of cool just to walk out to the overlook there where that outcropping is that kind of protrudes out into the canyon. Isn't that cool?
That's where we were parked, on that little point of a ledge out there. And this is where our camper was parked, right on that little tippy tip of a ledge out there. It made me very, very nervous.
So to give you a sense of how large this canyon is, if you look really close right down there, you can see a car parked down on that road. And you could drive along there, and you can actually get a backcountry permit from the rangers. And you can go into the backcountry of the Canyonlands at your leisure and stay for 2 or 3 days, however you like, and camp down there. Just find a spot. It has to be so many feet from a water source, etc. But the road continues on down for a long way. Shafer Canyon Trail overlook. Be sure to come all the way out to the end, almost to the very end, and that's the very end point there. But there's a nice little slot canyon right here, just pass through on the rocks, and you can pass over to the other side, and great shots from that angle as well of the canyon. Tip from my friend, the ranger at the Canyonlands Visitor Center. She said, hey, once you pass the Shafer Canyon overlook, be sure and stop at the Shafer Trail viewpoint, which is just the very next stop on the left. So we're gonna do that. She said it's a beautiful view.
Part of the road here, going down to the bottom.
Oh my God, look at the cars. And there's people actually jogging on it.
Downhill.
This is the view. Thank you to my ranger friend. She definitely hooked us up with the view. Look at the spiny road, that's Shafer Road that goes down into the canyon. I was wondering how it actually gets down into the canyon, but this is the answer right here. It's so steep.
Look how close that road is to the edge of that cliff.
Yeah. We're at the Candlestick Tower overlook. That's the candlestick out there. So we're gonna go out to the ledge to see the river as well as the tower. Nice. That's the Candlestick Tower right there. And that's the river down there. And how it cuts through. Candlestick Tower overlook. It's kind of cool to the rocks or the vegetation's trying to grow up through the rock here. And then you look out at Candlestick Tower, and then you can see where the river cut through. Look how, and you can see the river off in the distance right there. But it carved all this. Really cool. We are at the Buck Canyon Overlook. It's only 200 feet out to the end of Buck Canyon. And it's a quick little drive in and a quick little drive out. Definitely do it. It's beautiful. Wow, great view. Look at this really cool carved rock here beside Jeff. What do you think, Jeff?
Pretty cool.
This is the Buck Canyon
Spaces.
Overlook here at Canyonlands. Lots of detail. Very pretty. Got greens this time of year. This is June 1st. And you look here, this is what's really cool. Look at the different layers of the sediment that made that little canyon within a canyon.
Amazing how those boulders down there are just balanced, left balanced down by themselves into a little tower.
Here at the Buck Canyon Overlook, and just looking out across this vast canyon. It's just absolutely amazing for your mind to process all of what you're looking at one time. It's just so beautiful, and the different colors, the greens from the vegetation, the rock layers that are exposed, and then just the different crags and the different little shelves that it creates. It's just amazing for your mind to process all of this at one time. Then if you look really close, you can see the river meandering through and it peeks out in a couple spots. Just beautiful. There, and we are at the Orange Cliffs Overlook. The most interesting thing, you know, I usually give you guys a picture of the plaque that they have at the overlooks, and this particular one has my actual birthday on it that something happened. I gotta show you. So, protecting the wilderness, this is about that. On September 3rd, 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Wilderness Act, which legally defined wilderness as an area where the earth and the community of life are untrampled by man, where man himself is a visitor who does not remain. Just 9 days later, on September 12th of 1964, President Johnson signed the legislation establishing the Canyonlands National Park as an actual park in our national system. So how cool is that? It was on my actual birthday. So we're here at the Orange Cliffs, and it looks like Jeff is getting a little bit more courageous about going out to the end of the canyon wall as time has gone.
Another cliff right here.
Oh,
that's only
another
20
cliff.
feet low.
So he might not die. He will maybe just break his arm or a leg or something. So it won't be as bad as losing your life, right? So, okay, so this is the Orange Cliff overlook. And so there's the Orange Cliffs there. And we have Orange Cliffs over here. So really nice, vast picture of the area. We're at Grand View Point at the Island in the Sky. The Island in the Sky makes this little island out into the middle of the canyon, and at the very end of the tip, at the end of the scenic drive, you get to the tip, which they call Grand View Point, and it's at elevation like 6,000 feet or so. So I'm gonna take you out to the end of the point, take a look and see at the grand view that we can get of the canyon. So the overlook is only 300 feet from the actual parking lot. However, let's see, the overlook is 300 feet, but 1 mile rim walk. You can take the 1 mile rim walk along the outside edge. Of course, no railings or anything like that, but this is definitely a place you want to stop at on your visit to Canyonlands National Park, because it is the grand view of the canyon, because this is the end of the peak of the island that Canyonlands sits on. Just one portion that Canyonlands sits on. So, a lot of folks here today. And it tells how, oh boy, that's nice. Look at how that is carved in like that. So this is a very grand view of the canyon.
Around the rim of the canyon is a white layer, and that white layer is harder than the rest of the geology, so it kind of forms a shelf, and the rest of the layers erode around it, and so that's why the canyons just drop off quick from water erosion mostly.
Very good job.
The canyon walls are carved and shaped as rainwater seeps into the sandstone and collects in the cracks. This water freezes and thaws, widening the cracks and splintering the rocks. The loosened rocks are carried over waterfalls
into the canyon, and the Colorado and Green Rivers cart away thousands of feet of rock, one grain at a time. Here at the Grand View Overlook, you can take the 1 mile rim walk that's along here, which I'm going to show you. It's, of course, keep in mind here at Canyonlands National Park, they don't really have railings, and it is a 2,000 foot drop down to the canyon floor. So this is the rim walk. It goes down through here like this, and you can see those folks all walking along the rim walk trail, which is 1 mile. So it goes along the front and it goes back along the other direction. So very cool. I'm gonna take this little rim walk trail, take some nice pictures, just enjoy the view, and just like any trail that you take on at any of our national parks or anywhere, if every single spot that you are in the trail, it's like a different view, and it's beautiful going and coming back. It's a whole different view, so a whole new experience. So I encourage you to get out and enjoy the hiking, that capability, the hiking possibilities that you have at national parks. This is a beautiful little rim trail walk along, and people are just moseying along. Kind of have some overcast skies today, but it would have been a little nicer. This is just really pretty here with the yucca blooming over the canyon, right here on the rim trail. So walking along the rim trail here at Canyonlands at the Grand View Point, and it's pretty flat and level. Just the natural rocks along here, just a little uneven. So kind of watch your step if you take a long walk over here. It's just 1 mile. It starts at the overlook that has the barricades and all, and then you turn to the right, and then you just go for the it's just 1 mile. So it's a very pleasant experience to just walk this trail. A few people on it, and like I said, no railings, and it's a straight off drop, so you have to watch the little ones, and you have to watch yourself if you get too close to the rim wall. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
This actually looks like a sunbathing rock here, which I don't think I would do it. Some people might, but the sunbathing rock that sticks out over the edge and drops down. While I'm hiking along the rim trail here at Grand View, at the Canyonlands, Just wanted to brief you a little bit about Canyonlands National Park. It became a park back in September the 12th of 1964, only 9 days after the Wilderness Act was enacted in the United States. On my actual birthday, when the day I was born, September 3rd, 1964. So that was kind of cool. Found that out today here at Canyonlands. And there's this park is really a hikers and mountain biker paradise, because there are over 200 plus miles of hiking trails and trails that go all into this canyon. But the reason why Congress approved this to be a national park back in 1964 was to preserve this canyon, and the one that was created over lots of years by the Colorado on this side, on the left side, and the Green River on the right. And they both converge here at Grand View Point here at the park. So just to give you a little overview, there's lots of layers of rocks, and I'll show that to you, how these are all stacked, and they are composed of different minerals. And so the rocks decompose and they erode away at different rates of time. So that's why we have some exposed and some others not. But it creates these brilliant colors of the rainbow, basically, with the canyon. Here at Canyonlands, there's a spot just for picnicking and day use that have individual spots for each of the campers to have their picnic lunch. And so that's took the tip from the ranger at the station at the visitor center, and she told us, hey, if you're gonna have a nice picnic lunch, do it out at the picnic area near the Grand View. So that's what we did. We were very patient. We waited about 10 minutes and the folks finished up from Tennessee, and so we got this spot and we love it. So we're gonna have our lunch here. So there's our rig, and that is our view of the canyon from our little picnic spot. So our picnic table is set up there. Jeff is making our lunch and in the rig. So we're gonna have our lunch here. The dogs have already had their lunch. And then I set us up some chairs right over here and they've got like a barbecue grill, and they have a picnic table. Look at that view off in the distance, beautiful. But it's panoramic because it goes in a loop, and there's spots are on the outside. A couple of them are on the inside, but and I picked us out a nice little spot for after our lunchtime, where we can just sit here and enjoy this canyon view after our lunchtime. And then we'll be proceeding on with checking out the rest of Canyonlands National Park here at Island in the Sky. So just a beautiful view from where we can have our lunch or afterwards. So that's my recommendation. You bring your lunch and you get a spot here at the Canyonlands picnic area out towards the Grand View location. We're here at the Green River Overlook at Canyonlands, and it's just a few hundred yards out to the very end to the overlook from the parking lot. So we're gonna go check it out.
In May of 1869, Major John Wesley Powell set out with 4 boats and 9 novice oarsmen on a mission to gain knowledge of this unique and mysterious landscape of the unknown. Powell described this area in his journal as a strange, weird, grand region of naked rock with cathedral-shaped buttes towering hundreds of thousands of feet, cliffs that cannot be scaled, and canyon walls that shrink the river into insignificance.
Oh, wow. How cool is that? This is the Green River Overlook. It's got that same white rim sediment that was similar to around on the other side at the Grand View Overlook. And you can see the river down there.
Yeah.
It makes a bend right there.
Big bend.
A big bend.
It's green.
The water's green? No, around the river it appears to be lush and green, like maybe they had heavier rains in the last month and it's still green. So this is a Green River Overlook, and it's kind of interesting. Over a period of time, they have named some of these landmarks of the Green River plain here. The Turk's Head, and that was named after John Wesley Powell for his resemblance to a Turkish turban. White rim sandstone acts as a protective caprock on the buttes and spires throughout the park. So another one way off in the distance, you can probably see it right there. They call that one Cleopatra's Chair, a prominent skyline feature composed of Navajo sandstone, located in Glen Canyon National Recreation Area, which is also where the Lake Powell is, just to the south of here, which flows through the Grand Canyon on into Lake Powell on down to Lake Mead, and that's where Las Vegas gets its drinking water.
This is a western whiptail lizard. These lizards have a defense mechanism where if they're threatened by a predator, they will detach their long tail and the muscles in the tail continue to flop around, distracting the predator long enough that the lizard can escape. The prickly pear cactus thrives in this high desert environment. It is known for its bright pink flower, which blooms in the late spring to the early summer. It has sharp needles for protection, and its modified stems retain water to help it survive in this dry environment.
We're at the Upheaval Dome trailhead, and what it is this. We're here at the Upheaval Dome. It's a point. It says it's 1 hour round trip, but I don't believe it's that long. It's 0.6, I believe, of a mile, but this is what the trail looks like. We're here. We're gonna go to the first overlook and probably the second and back, but we're not gonna do the whole thing around. This is starting here at the parking lot at the very end of the road and just going to the first overlook and maybe the second. Oh, it does say on the right here, the Upheaval Dome overlook. The first overlook is 1 mile or 1 hour round trip. The second overlook is 1.8 or 1.5 miles round trip. This section of the trail is the most steepest part of it, and the elevation gain. Only 0.3 left, so. And you quickly rise up, and you can see the parking lot behind you. It's nice and cool today. It's only 68, 70 degrees, so it's a good time to do some of these cool, interesting hikes here at Canyonlands. Upheaval Dome is a mystery caused by a slow-moving salt dome or an instantaneous meteorite impact. Some believe that the dome is a rising plug of relatively low-density salt that caused overlying rock layers to dome up in a circular pattern like a basketball underneath the blanket. The other theory is that this was formed by a meteorite impact 200 million years ago, hitting the ground with so much force that this meteorite vaporized on impact, fracturing the rock and creating this large crater. So they're not quite sure exactly what caused this 2 mile wide hole here with this salt dome. Was it a salt dome or was it a meteorite that hit and caused this over time? So they're not quite sure, but you can see it. It's in this huge hole here. We are at Whale Rock Trailhead, and it is 1 mile, but that's the mile is to go around the backside of this rock that is shaped like a big whale and try to climb up to the top of it, which some people have because I see them up there right now. And I think I'm just gonna go a little bit into the trail and take a picture of the Whale Rock, and so you can see what it looks like. Let me flip the camera around. This is Whale Rock here, and those are folks right there that have gone all the way up to the top of it, right there. And so they did the mile hike, but this is Whale Rock right here. So we're gonna just one thing that it does say about things here in the park, in the Canyonlands, is that people have always enjoyed naming the fanciful rock formations in the canyon country. From a distance, the long curving spine of this butte resembles the profile of a whale. So they invite you to take this trail up here at Whale Rock to scramble up for some fantastic views of Island in the Sky region of Canyonlands and the surrounding canyons. And this trail begins with a quick level walk across the desert. As it approaches the base of the butte, the trail climbs gradually on the ledges and slopes, and finally becoming a short but steep ascent to the rock's crest. The slide rock scramble onto the back of the whale makes this an especially fun for children as well. Well, it's kind of the end of the day for us, and it sounds intriguing. And the park ranger that I talked to this morning said that it's kind of nice because it does really resemble a whale. But oh, and then there's some really pretty flowers. Everything seems to be blooming this time of year. This is the trail here. So it's really pleasant. The yucca's blooming, the prickly pear is blooming, and really nice blossoms on these things. So instead of climbing up the backside, which would have been very similar to this type of hike and terrain, going up the backside of the rock for the Whale Rock, I decided to come up the front side. And just so you can get a better view, this is a view of the area. You see canyon off in the distance, and this is Whale Rock. Kind of looks like a whale. There's its tail fin. Its head's over there, and his hump. We're at the Holman Springs
Canyon
Overlook, and there's no signage for this. It's kind of a neat little overlook. I think you have to go down just a little bit right here and over to the canyon wall, which I'm gonna do real quick and show you the canyon overlook from here. It's not very far. This is only probably 0.2 of a mile. So this is the Holman Springs Canyon Overlook, and there it is. Look at that. Go down just a little bit further since I've gone this far. We are at the Mesa Arch Trail, and it is only a half mile, 30 minutes total. And it starts here and it goes all the way to the Mesa Arch, which is, I think, about the only arch here in the Canyonlands, in this area anyways. A lone span clinging to the canyon rim, the Mesa Arch has greeted every sunrise for a millennia. On the Mesa Arch Trail, it has a great look over the canyon, which is beautiful. Oh, you can see the arch already. Folks are already around at it. Cool. Sneak preview. was definitely a place that we needed to preserve for all of our future generations to enjoy, just like I'm enjoying it 58 years later after my date of birth, and made it very special for me. So this is park number 53 on our list to all of the national parks, and I learned something new. I see something new. I adventure something that I had never adventured before by going out to these national parks and just letting my mind accept whatever I'm going to see and try and share it with you. So whatever you're doing today, get out and enjoy the great outdoors and do something that makes you smile.